Awesome. So I'd like to thank you again for being able to log in. I'm going to shortly share my screen, so just kindly give me 1 minute and I'll do so. Let me know if you're able to see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So today what we want to talk about is crowdfunding and what it is and how it works. So how you are able to be invited to this session is because you filled in a Google form from our platform. And to explain more what it is that we are partnered with Standard Bank South Africa to support businesses within South Africa under certain categories. And also for those who are able to qualify, they will be able to receive 50,000 worth of matching funds. So if you're able to qualify, once you set up your crowdfunding campaign and you start raising funds, for every rand you receive, you're able to get an additional rand of up to 50,000. And we want to guide you to allow you to understand what crowdfunding is, what our platform does, and just generally the whole concept about crowdfunding. So I'd like to introduce our platform first. Our platform is called Thundafund, Thunder with an A. We are a reward-based crowdfunding platform, and we are located in 3 countries in Africa. It was launched in South Africa back in 2013. We are based in Kenya. It was launched in 2019, and we also launched in the Gambia in the year 2020. So over the couple of years, we've been able to partner with a couple of good organizations such as ShopRite, UNCDF, Nedbank, ALX, and at the moment we are partnered with Standard Bank. And this allows us to support more businesses, guide them on education of what crowdfunding is and how best to navigate a crowdfunding campaign for their business. So to quickly introduce who I am, my name is Ruth Domo. I am based in Nairobi, Kenya. I am from Kenya. I've been working in Thunderfund since the year 2020. I started as a lead campaign manager where I would review campaigns, guide them, and have them launch on our platform. At the moment, I am a project manager, so I guide on coordinating different projects that we have. So that just allows you to understand who I am and what I do at Thunderfund. Um, to simply explain what crowdfunding is, for those who may not know, crowdfunding is an online way of raising funds. And the way our platform has been designed, it specifically helps businesses raise funds for their business to either kickstart a new business they have, to either expand an existing business, or help them launch new services and products, or just simply maintain some of the services that they have within their business. So, out of curiosity, does within guys who are logged in right now, have you heard of crowdfunding before, or is this the first time that you're hearing about it? Yes.
Yeah, I can say me is the first time hearing about it.
Okay. Okay, great. David, it's the first time you're hearing about crowdfunding?
I've heard of it before, but
Yeah.
I have not participated in it yet.
Yeah. So there are different types of crowdfunding. I think in one way or the other, we have found maybe ourselves crowdfunding, but we didn't realize we do so. You know, if somebody is raising funds maybe towards buying things for a children's home, or if someone is raising funds to help a medical fee or bill that someone has, that is crowdfunding. So it's just a matter of raising money for a particular cause. But what we are doing is now helping businesses crowdfund for themselves and for their business. The approach will be different because it is a business, and how our platform has been designed is that it allows you to create a crowdfunding campaign that will allow you to reach out to your networks and your supporters to contribute towards your campaign because they do get something out of it. And I'll just simply talk more about that and also talk more about what we are doing with Standard Bank. Okay. So to clear some of the misconceptions, when it comes to this type of crowdfunding, which is reward crowdfunding, it's not charity. You're not asking for donations the way you would ask for a medical bill or raise funds for a particular cause, because at the end of the day, you are offering something in exchange for someone's contribution. We'll talk more about that, but the idea is you are raising funds for a particular cause in your business, and you have the opportunity of adding rewards that people can purchase. And that allows people to raise, you're able to raise more funds for your campaign, and it allows people to also interact with your product and your service. I will show you examples of campaigns just to give you a better idea of what that looks like. Another thing about crowdfunding is that it's not a loan. Once you've been able to raise the funds, you are not required to pay it back. All you need to do is to make sure to deliver any rewards that have been purchased and just update people on the progress that you have made so far with the raised funds. Did you do what you shared people? Did you do what you had told people you would do with the raised funds? Those are just some of the things you may need to do, but you are not required to pay back the amount of money that you raise. So how crowdfunding works, this is a very simple diagram. The first one is that you have an idea, and the idea could be either expanding your business or you just want to create a campaign to raise funds to sustain the current business that you have. What you do is the second step is coming to our platform, which has free registration. You come in and you create a campaign with the guidance of our team. Once you've done that, you reach out to your existing networks. That's your friends, your families, and any business networks that you may have to start contributing towards your campaign and for them to consider some of the rewards that you've set up that they can purchase as a way of contributing towards your campaign. So you realize that you're starting to raise money in your campaign. You also encourage the people that you know to share your campaign with their networks as well to reach out to a bigger group of people. And ideally, if navigated well, you are able to reach the target that you had set for yourself to help you with some of the goals you had for your business. So some of the key features of our platform that allows the process of creating a campaign easy is that, like we said, there's easy registration. You just need an email address and a password. It is secure and transparent, so all funds coming to your campaign are visible on your end and you're able to get notifications. We do have social media integration, and this helps you share your campaign on different social media platforms. That is if you have a good following and you interact with a lot of people on social media. Another thing is that we have diverse payment options. This allows you to reach out to your networks from all parts of the world. So you're not limited to reaching out to people in South Africa only. You can reach out to people from Australia or Germany or the USA, any part or any other country also within Africa, and this allows them to contribute towards your campaign. And of course, we do thrive by giving the best customer service, just to make sure that we guide you and we help you with everything that you need, especially if this is something that you are doing for the first time and if this is a new concept for you. Okay. So why does crowdfunding work? Some people are curious as a business, how am I able to crowdfund and how does this work for me? How does this benefit my business? So there are definitely several advantages of crowdfunding, and I will go through about 5 that we would want you to keep in mind as you continue and you go through this process. So the first one is that crowdfunding helps you refine your idea. As you crowdfund, you are communicating to people the products and the services you have within your business. And through that, the networks that you have are able to share feedback on what you have. They're able to let you know that maybe with the current market, you can consider to adjust your service or your product in a certain way to allow you to reach out to more people and maybe even get a better turnover. So we do encourage that whenever you're running a crowdfunding campaign and you're reaching out to different networks and different people, it's also good for you to ask them, what do you think about the product or the service? Have you ever interacted with a similar product? What feedback would you give me to make sure that I'm giving the most appropriate product or service to you? So it is a good way to get feedback from people. Another thing is also it's a way of validating an idea you have. We do have people who are starting a new business or who want to launch a new product or service, and you want to make sure that whatever you're launching is something that people would like. So it's a good way to kind of test a product to make sure that before you mass produce a product or decide to expand on a service, that whatever you have is you have been able to test it with the existing market, and you've been able to refine it in a way that people would prefer. Another advantage of crowdfunding is brand awareness. One thing I've come to realize when I've interacted with people who have crowdfunded is that some of the main values they've been able to gain is that they've been able to tap into a bigger audience. As you crowdfund, you're reaching out to your networks. You are encouraging them to support a particular initiative or a particular goal you have for your business. And through that, you're encouraging them to share that with their own networks as well. Through that, you find that when they reach out to their networks, you're reaching out to a bigger audience, and you're being able to kind of market your business to a much bigger group of people. Okay. And of course, one of the other advantages is being able to raise funds. We've seen that people have launched 2 campaigns. They were able to have a very good and successful campaign. They were able to communicate some of the things that they were able to achieve after having a good, successful campaign, and proceed to decide to launch another campaign later on. So one of the advantages is, with having a good, successful campaign, you can decide to launch another campaign later on. And for those who maybe weren't successful, they do learn a lot, and they do take their time to reconsider and come back and launch another campaign later on by taking into consideration some of the things that they learned. And the final one is you're able to just gain more money. The main advantage of crowdfunding is being able to raise funds to achieve the goals that you had set for your business. And through this, you're able to get support, because ideally, crowdfunding is the idea of raising small amounts of money from a large group of people. Most people lean towards crowdfunding because maybe they are not able to get a loan from the bank, or they're not able to interact with venture capitalists at this point in time with the business. So crowdfunding has always been a great alternative for businesses, as long as it's approached in the best way. So up to there, do we have any questions from anyone? Please feel free to ask any questions. We will have other follow-up sessions, because we said, like, especially since it's a new concept for some people, we would want to make sure that we do answer all the questions that you have. I can see Sarah has her hand up. So Sarah, proceed to unmute and ask the question that you have.
Yes, thanks very much, Rose. So I'm a director of a small NPO, and what I wanted to ask, is it better to crowdfund for an entire project, or in this particular case, I'm thinking of, we need 2 very distinct pieces of equipment for our project.
Yes.
So is it better just to crowdfund particularly for those 2 bits of kit?
So there's always a way on how you can gauge what would be an ideal funding goal for you. We'll discuss more about it, but to just quickly answer your question, I always say start smaller if it's your first time, or gauge the crowd that you have, the networks that you have. Kind of think of an estimate of how much you think you'll be able to raise with those individuals to allow you to gauge the goal that you want to set. So if you feel like you want to start with a smaller amount, and that will allow you to raise funds for the equipment first, that would always be a good idea to start with that first. And then you can always consider to set up another crowdfunding campaign later on. If it's your first time, I always advise start smaller first, because it also allows you to learn a lot, and it can also help you kind of approach your next campaign in a different way from the lessons you learned from the first one.
Thank you.
Yes, but we will go more into that later on. Okay.
Great.
Okay, great. So any other question before I continue? Okay, so there are several requirements that one needs in order for you to have a complete campaign. And that is, I'll show you how a campaign looks like so that you're able to see the different sections. So the first one is the campaign goals. That's what Sarah was asking about. The second one is a story. One will be required to write a story because it's important for people to understand you as a business, you as an individual, and also what you're raising funds for, and also giving a breakdown of how the amounts will be used. So it's very important for you to make sure that you approach your story in the best way possible, because this is what will allow people to get to know you and your business. The third one is a campaign video. One will be required to create a video. a video can be approached in very many different ways. Sometimes you find people who are a bit shy, don't want to be in front of the camera. You can always show your actual business and just talk in the background. Some people prefer to be right in front of the camera talking to the people, because ideally a video allows people to put a face to the business, and it kind of gives people a surety of the existence of this business. The fourth one is the rewards. Like we said, because you're raising funds for a business, you need to have an incentive that will encourage people to want to crowdfund or raise funds for you. So we do encourage that you set up rewards. And the final one is making sure you add your social media and any website link that you have. This allows people to interact with your business more, but also it also gives them certainty of the existence of the business. So we'll quickly go through these ones just to give you an idea. So your campaign goal, we encourage that you set a realistic goal because it is crucial to your campaign. We have seen people set a very high goal. For example, they'll set like R1 million, but unfortunately the networks that they have may not allow them to reach that goal in the first campaign. So we always encourage that you start smaller when it comes to the amount that you want to raise. So one of the things you can do is determine your funding needs. What I would encourage is take a book and a pen, write down all the needs that you have for your business, but then start with the most immediate ones as you continue down listing them down. And then from there, you can decide which ones are the ones you want to crowdfund for first. Determine how much you need for all those needs that you have. So you can maybe have a list of 10 needs, and maybe your first crowdfunding campaign, you may consider to start raising for the first 3 needs, because the amount that will allow you to achieve that is maybe what you think you'll be able to receive from the networks that you have. Another way, like we say, is consider your audience. Think about the size of your audience, the engagement that you have with your audience, and the potential that your audience have in terms of raising funds. People have different capabilities financially, so it's always good to kind of put an average on how much maybe you assume or think that they would be able to contribute. And this can allow you to estimate or figure out what would be an appropriate goal to set. Another way you can do that is analyzing similar campaigns to yours or similar businesses that have set up campaigns. So we will share our platform website, and we'll also share the partner page of campaigns that we have set up before and partnered with Standard Bank, just to give you an idea of some of the goals that they set up, and also to see the breakdown they had in their story, to give you a better understanding of what would be a first ideal goal. And also, when you're setting your goal, keep in mind that there is a platform fee that Thundafund will take. So the platform fee ranges from 5 to 7%. 5% is normally for non-profit organizations, and 7% will be for any other type of business. And the 5% is only provided if you are able to provide proof that you are an NPO. So putting all this into consideration will allow you to determine what a good first goal would be for your campaign. So I hope, Sarah, this kind of helps answer the question that you had and kind of allow you to see what would be a good way for you to set your goal. Awesome. Can see your hands, thumbs up. Great. So the second one is your story. It's important to write a good story because this is what will allow you to connect with the individuals that you'll be reaching out to, and also for those who may not know you. So these are some of the questions we tell you to ask yourself to kind of guide you on how to create your story. The first question is to say who you are. Allow people to understand who you are as an individual. Allow people to understand how you started your journey in this business. You know, it's good to make your story personal because they're able to kind of connect with you on a different level. And they're able to understand that you've been able to achieve all of this, and now you need an extra help or push in order for you to achieve the remainder of the things that you want to achieve. It's also important to share the products and the services you offer. The story section also allows you to add images. So if you do offer a product or a service and you have any images that can kind of depict what that is, it's a good idea to add. Like we said, you want to give as much clarity as possible and also visual evidence of what your business does. This is the part where you also say why you need people's support and help. why are you raising funds? It's important to state how much you're raising, and it's also important to give a breakdown or a budget of how the money will be used. People are more willing to support you if they know how the money will be used. By providing a budget, it shows that you have put in the effort of sitting down, rationalizing, thinking about what you want to do. It seems that you're very organized and you've already planned what you want to do with the funds. So by giving more clarity of how the funds will be used, allows people to be a bit more trusting, to be willing also to support your campaign. And then also just thanking people in advance is a good thing. It just allows people love to be appreciated. So it's a good way to also kind of allow people to know that you're very grateful for the support that they would be considering to give you. Like we said, a video is important. We do encourage a short video. People tend to shy away or maybe don't have time to watch a very long video. So we do encourage a video that's about 90 seconds to 3 minutes maximum. If you want to go a little bit longer, maximum, then we say push it maximum to like 5 minutes. Nothing more than 5 minutes would be great. It's a good way to briefly answer questions, and you can easily capture all the information you have in the story on a video. Some people prefer to watch the video than read the story, so you want to make sure that you capture everything in all, both story and video. You don't need a team of experts to record your video. People and majority of individuals just use their phone. Just sit in front of the camera and just talk to the camera, or use your camera to record and allow people to see your products and services and why you are setting up a campaign. What we've realized, and statistics show, that people with a personal video are able to raise 105% more than those that do not. So we do encourage that you consider having a video. Sarah, I can see your hand is up. Did you have another question?
Yes, thank you. Sorry to interrupt. I hope you don't mind.
Yes.
You talked about the audience. Is that audience purely going to be the people who are in my contacts and my communication network, or is that what Thundafund brings, a platform of expose, people that we then get exposed to?
We do try, but majority of the time, most of the supporters are coming within your networks. What Thundafund is able to do is offer a platform. We're able to offer education. We do try our best to see whether we can connect you to individuals who may be willing to support your campaign. We do post your campaign on social media as well, but we've come to see that there's only so much traction that comes from that. What we try to encourage and help you is kind of find a way of how to tap into your existing networks, and also tapping into their networks as well, and just allowing you to understand ways and means of how to kind of take advantage of the existing networks that you have at this point in time.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay, great. I've seen that there are a couple of questions in the chat section, so let me approach that. So one says, hi Rose, I've missed some details. Are we able to crowdfund for businesses within Africa? Yes, you are able to crowdfund for businesses within Africa. However, at the moment, we are based in South Africa, Kenya, and the Gambia, and we are able to support businesses within those countries at this point in time. But we are hoping to expand and be in more countries within Africa. I can see that there's another lady called Margaret who has shared her email address. Please send me more information on crowdfunding. So I will share the presentation, I will share a link of the video, and I will share more material, and we'll also be sharing more invitations, because this is just an introduction session. We will be launching our cohort this week, where we'll be having more training sessions to allow you to understand more about crowdfunding. So I will make sure that we do that. Okay. So let me continue. So campaign rewards, like we said, it's important to set rewards because these are the incentives that encourage your networks and also other networks that may not know you directly to want to support your business. We've seen rewards being a very powerful tool. We do guide all individuals on how to set rewards, and each campaign will maybe have different rewards depending on what business that they're involved in. So it is important for us to interact with you, get to know your business more, and kind of guide and help you on what reward would be ideal. So these incentives, like I said, do motivate people to want to contribute and also share your campaign with other individuals. Examples of rewards could be an individual has a good social media following and they will maybe say, we'll offer a social media shout out for maybe 50 Rand, others may decide to offer discounts on some of the goods and services they have to offer, or limited edition on some products that they may have. The advantage of this initiative, especially partnered with Standard Bank, with the potential of receiving matching funds, allows you to explore even more rewards to allow you to reach out to a larger group of people. So we do also encourage using your products and services as rewards that you can give out to people, just to encourage more people to reach out to you. We do say that there are several networks that you can reach out to. We have the first degree of networks. Those are your friends, your families, people that know you and you know them very closely. We have the second degree networks of individuals. Those are individuals who are aware of your business or your organization. You may not know them on a personal level, but maybe they're on your mailing list or on your social media and so on. And then we have the third degree of networks. These are people who do not know you and you don't know them, but you're able to be connected to them through your first and second networks by people communicating and sharing a campaign with their own existing networks. So we do always encourage people to kind of explore those networks. And as we continue to set up more sessions, we will kind of guide you more on how to promote your campaign, on how to run a good and successful campaign, especially because we understand that it is a new concept to quite a number of people. So another thing is we do encourage you having a campaign team. If you work in an organization or if you have a business and you work with other people, involve those individuals when it comes to setting up your campaign. However, it doesn't mean that you won't be capable of doing it on your own. Yes, you will, but we encourage that you involve many more people. Set up people, maybe one who will manage the content, one who will manage creating the video, one who will set up the rewards for you, maybe someone who will come up with a social media plan on how to promote it on social media. So it's always important to include your team, work as a team in order for you to set up your campaign. But again, as said before, we have seen quite a number of successful campaigns being run by one individual. From statistics, what we've seen is that crowdfunding campaigns which have a team behind it are able to raise 38% more than solo campaigns. So take advantage if you do have an existing team. So let me see, I can see one comment in the chat section. I can see, thanking me for answering the question. Okay, you're welcome. I want to talk more about the Standard Bank partnership. So we were able to start and establish this partnership back in 2021. At the time, there were riots that were taking place in July in 2021 in KZN, and they wanted to see how they can help and support those businesses. And one of the things was to provide matching funds to existing businesses. So of course, this does come with terms and conditions, and I'd love to talk about that more. So together with Standard Bank and an organization called Sabri, we are trying our best to reach out to as many businesses as possible to allow them and to give them the advantage of being able to receive matching funds worth 50,000. So one of the major benefits of this is for those who are able to qualify, for every Rand you raise, you're able to receive an equivalent 1 Rand of up to 50,000 Rand, of course, with terms and conditions applied. To discuss more about those terms and conditions, one, the business or the organization should be an existing Standard Bank business with a business account within Standard Bank. And another one, they should fall under either of these categories. It should either be a woman-owned business, it should either be a youth-owned business, it should either be a business that's been impacted by either a natural disaster or a civil unrest, and it should be a business that's located within the rural areas. So these are the businesses that do qualify for them to receive matching funds. As we launch this cohort, we do know that there are businesses that may not have Standard Bank accounts. However, we have seen businesses still run very successful crowdfunding campaigns even without the matching funds, and we still do want to offer training for those who may not qualify or who may not fall under this category. And as much as you fall under this category, you do have to provide your details to Standard Bank for approval. they need to confirm that you actually do have an existing bank account. And then once they've been able to offer us approval, we do communicate to you that you have been approved for the matching funds worth 50,000. So if you do know any other businesses that may benefit from this, and maybe even those that may not qualify but may benefit from crowdfunding in general, please encourage them to fill in the form. For this particular cohort, registration is ending tomorrow, and we would love to reach out to as many businesses as possible. So I'd love to share some previous campaigns that we had that have received matching funds, and for some that have not received matching funds, just to see some of the goals they had, what they were able to raise as well. So we do have this individual, they had a campaign called Saving the Planet, One Plant at a Time, One Bee at a Time. So one of the things they do is they do have plants that they normally sell to individuals and also organizations who want to kind of set them up as a package to individuals. They had a goal of raising 20,000, and they said 20,000 because it was their first time crowdfunding, that they never done it before. So they wanted to start with a smaller goal, keeping in mind that one is allowed to increase their goal as they continue if they feel like they are able to raise the funds. So your goal can always be adjusted as you continue. They were able to raise 94,000, and this is inclusive of the matching funds. So they were able to gain about 45,000 worth of matching funds, and they were able to have a total of 25 supporters. So it was their first time crowdfunding, and through the training that we provided them, they were able to approach it in a way that they're able to reach out to as many people as possible. One of the things I know she shared was that she did reach out to friends and family, and through them, they were able to reach out to other networks. So we always encourage that for those you know personally, encourage them to share your campaign with other individuals just to help you raise funds and reach the goal that you set for yourself. We do have this individual, he's called Vicky Tony. He was affected by the KZN riots. He did have a goal of raising 100,000 Rand. So inclusive of the matching funds, he was able to use up the total 50,000 matching funds. He was able to raise 95,013, and he was able to have 20 backers. So we have had him come on some of our training sessions to encourage people and to kind of guide them on what his experience was. So if you are able to join our other sessions, we will be bringing in people to kind of share the experience and kind of hear their thoughts on their experience for crowdfunding, especially for those who were doing it for the first time. Here is another campaign. This campaign did not receive matching funds. They were not part of the Standard Bank initiative. They self-registered on our platform, and they were raising funds for a park that they owned. So they wanted to create a pathway that would allow their park to be wheelchair friendly and accessible. So they had a goal of raising 150,000 Rand, and they were able to raise 196,000 Rand with a total of 240 supporters. If you do that in average, let's say average, that's like about 600 Rand per person. But of course, the amounts do vary depending on the individuals, but they did have quite a number of supporters. And for them, they did make sure they tapped into the networks that they had. And I believe they also tapped into individuals who have come to their park before and were willing to support because maybe they've been there to their business. They may not know them personally, but people are willing to support. They may not know how to support you, but they were able to get quite a number of supporters. We also have another individual. He was raising money for have the world's highest obstacle race at the Mount Everest. His goal was to raise 180,000. He was able to raise 72% of it with a total of 44 supporters. So these are just some examples, and he did not receive matching funds. He was able to raise this on his own. So these are just examples of some of the campaigns we have. We've had quite a number of campaigns. Like we said, we will share the campaign links to allow you to just see some of the campaigns that we've had on our platform, and also just see the approach on how they created their video, how they wrote the story, some of the rewards they set up to allow you and to give you a better understanding. So Before I continue, I can see I have a couple of more questions. We're asking the form. Yes, for those maybe who haven't filled in the form, I will share a link with you so that you can share it also with other individuals to allow them to maybe apply for this as well. So I will make sure I share that in the email. So to kind of conclude is what makes a good crowdfunding campaign? Number one, it's telling a compelling story. We do encourage people to be as personal as possible. Allow people to see your business and your journey through your eyes. So we do encourage to write a very good and compelling story just to allow people to really understand you and your journey. Number two is using photos and having a good video that allows you to connect with your networks. So make sure that you are able to create this content, to have this content ready. This is very beneficial for your campaign. The third one is offering a variety of rewards. When you're setting up your rewards, think of your networks and think of rewards they may be willing to purchase from your campaign. We have had people who have set up rewards which are different from their business only because they felt that those are the rewards that would be more enticing to their networks. So if you want to use that route, it's very okay. Your rewards don't have to be something that are linked to your business. You can mix it up. Have a number of rewards of different amounts. We normally say ranging from 50 Rand to like 2,000 Rand is normally the average amount. And being able to have rewards of different amounts allows you to access a bigger group of people. People have different financial capacities. So you want to make sure that you're able to do that. And another one is just being able to consistently communicate with your supporters and your backers. So it's very important to constantly communicate with your supporters and your backers so that you're able to give them an update as you continue. It reminds them that you still have a campaign that's running, and it allows them to reach out to individuals as well. So yes, so that's the end of this presentation. We will share all the links to allow you to interact with our platform more. And yeah, and also we do encourage that some of the things you can consider doing now is define your crowdfunding goal, give a breakdown of how you want the funds to be used. This always is a good way to start before creating an account on Thundafund. Ask yourself, how much do I want to raise? How much of the funds will be used? It's always a good first step when it comes to thinking about your crowdfunding campaign. So yes, any questions from anyone?
The amounts that was shown by the people in the crowdfunding of what they had, was that after commissions were taken?
No, that was before the amounts were deducted. So that's why whenever you're setting up your campaign, it's always important to consider that a platform fee will be deducted. So you can always add that to your budget to allow people to know why you're raising a particular amount. So what happens is once the campaign comes to an end, whatever amount appears there, a reconciliation is created, which we share with you for renewal, just to see the amount that has been deducted, what has been raised. And it also gives details of each individual that has raised their phone number, their name, their email address, and if they did purchase a reward, what reward they had purchased. So we do have all those details that will be provided to you. As you also continue to run your campaign, every week, someone from our team shares an email with you with all the supporters that you've been able to gain so far, just to allow you to see out of all the people you reached out to, who has already raised funds for you. So for you to know who you need to maybe follow up on to kind of help you make sure that you reach out to every individual.
Okay. And
yes?
the monies
Yes.
that are allocated, does it go into a different account before it is in your account?
Yes.
Or so it goes into a crowdfund account or Thunder crowdfund, or yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is our platform has several modes of payment. And the reason we have several modes of payment is because it allows you to reach out to as many people as possible. Like we said, we have MasterCard Visa payment, we have PayPal, and we have EFT through bank. So all those amounts come to our PayPal account, to our card account, and to our bank account. So once your campaign comes to an end, we do reconcile the amount and send the whole amount to you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Sarah, I can see your hand is up.
Yes, thank you. And sorry, my sound is not that good, so maybe I've just missed some things. Is there an ideal time period that a campaign should run?
Yes, that's a very good question. So we normally have several different options in terms of the number of days when you're creating a campaign. It can either be 30, 45, or 60 days. We always say the shorter the campaign, the better. So we always encourage people to start with 30 days. And we always encourage people to have their campaign be ready before the end of the month, because you want to target people just before they are being paid, okay? Now, as you set your campaign for 30 days, sometimes you may, as you continue to run your campaign, you may find that maybe you need more time, maybe you're gaining more supporters than you thought you were. It is possible for you to extend your campaign a bit longer. So you won't be limited to the 30 days you've set. You can always reach out to us and we can extend the campaign. In case you're able to reach your goal quicker and you want to close your campaign early, it is possible for you to request to have your campaign closed early. So it's not fixed, but we do encourage you to start with 30 days first.
And sorry, thank you. May I ask just two more quick ones?
Yes.
So my understanding is, so you only qualify for the match funding if you have a standard bank account, but it doesn't stop you necessarily using Thundafund.
Yes, yes. So from the registration, we've seen one of the questions we asked was, do you have a standard bank account? So there's people who answered yes and those who answered no. At the end of the day, we want to guide and educate everyone on crowdfunding. So even though you may not qualify for the matching funds, we do encourage that you stay within the cohort and we continue to train you on crowdfunding, and we allow you to also launch your campaign even without the matching funds. Majority of the campaigns we've had on our platform have not been able to have have not been able to receive the matching funds because it's not a partnership that we've had before. It's the first time we are able to have such a good partnership. So we are reaching out to as many businesses as possible, but it's not always that this will be available. Yes.
And is it only a standard bank business account? So for example, I have a personal credit card account, but I'm director of my organization. Would that count for anything?
We will share your details to allow Standard Bank to confirm whether it will be possible, because under Standard Bank, there are quite a number of different types of accounts. So from that, they will be able to confirm whether the type of account you have will qualify. Maybe giving an example, we did have one who had a credit card account, but it was a merchant account which was linked to a different account, and unfortunately, that did not qualify. However, we do encourage that you provide your details to allow us just to confirm and be certain that you may not qualify or you may qualify.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Ephraim, I can see your hand is up.
Hi, Rose.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Yeah, in relation to some of the companies, I know there's this guy, partner of mine, Joseph Mapela, on the platform. So my question is related to the construction side. Some of the businesses or the companies that we normally get somewhere plate on our plates is from the databases. It's word of mouth of the clients. Like normally we don't have those clients like what do we say, working or what, like independent clients that you say, these are my potential clients. Sometimes you do jobs once off and what. So in relation into inviting them in your campaign, because normally they source the companies from the CSD databases. How do you help with recalculating that thing or merging that company in order to get an access to deadlines? Because normally deadlines we get the RFQs, then that's where you do the job, you bid for that the RFQ. It's only do or die that you get it or you don't get it. And in order to raise those funds, so my question is that how does Standard Bank get into involving in these matters, like helping the companies just to link with its clients particularly?
Okay, so what we normally do is we do encourage, normally we do one-on-ones just to kind of learn and understand how you normally run your business and how you interact with your clients. But at the end of the day, we have said that there are different types of networks that you can access. You know, when it comes to raising funds, it may not necessarily only be the individuals who interact with your business, but it may be individuals who already know you on a personal level. Like we said, we do try our best to see how we can find individuals who can kind of support or tap you into a network within your industry, to see how we're able to kind of help you gain more individuals. But like we said, that is usually very limited, and sometimes the conversion is very minimal. But we always say, just sit down and start with your immediate networks first. And then from there, we always encourage kind of for you reaching out to more personal individuals, because maybe you don't have a mailing list or a list of customers who normally come back in terms of supporting your campaign. We have had one campaign that was in the construction industry. And if you don't mind, and if they are willing, I would maybe link you with them to have more conversation with them, just to understand how they did run their business, their campaigns.
Okay, that will be
Yes.
that will be grateful.
Yes.
That will be grateful.
Okay. Great.
Yes, and then another question lastly, that I
Yeah.
used to have that Standard Bank business account,
Yes.
and in order to revoke it, sometimes is that going to the branches, oh, the queues are so disastrous.
Yeah.
So doing it online, Standard Bank usually take longer.
Yeah.
I can tell you more than 4 to 5 months in order to wait for them to answer you, in order to reopen the account. So in that aspect, how do we deal with it? Because sometimes their services, online services, they need to re-upgrade it, because they normally take longer to attain this SMMEs. Remember, the businesses that we run, they are not the more fully established businesses like us. We come from the rural areas. Our background is still far more better than saying that I will have all the digital network. I have to budget for the airtime and whatsoever. So in order to write an email so that the Standard Bank will get back to you, they even take a year to do so. So how would you say to intervene in that matter?
Yeah, no, the good thing at this point in time, since we are partnered with Standard Bank, we do have a direct contact to someone in Standard Bank. So I would be in a position to maybe connect you with them for a more immediate and faster response. However, ideally, your feedback also does help them also improve their services. So of course, this is also something we can share with them to kind of see how they can do better. But we will be able to link you with someone who can give you more immediate and quicker feedback in terms of your account.
Okay, because I've got 4 months. I've been waiting for their reply, even the email, but still I haven't got anything.
Okay, great. What I'll do is I will reach out to you separately. If you don't mind, maybe you can share the email that you sent to them, and I can forward
I did enclose it on the messages. I did send the email.
Yes,
yes, on the chat box.
And then you can share the details of the account if you don't mind, or particularly I can give you an email address that we are currently using as a Thundafund Standard Bank email, and you can kind of share those details there as well, if that's okay.
Please do so, so that I can get it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Any question from anyone else? So at the moment, no. Yeah, and just maybe to just talk more about Standard Bank, like we said, we will be having concurrent cohorts towards the whole year until the end of the year. And it's a good opportunity for you to experience crowdfunding, but also taking advantage of receiving matching funds. We have seen quite a number of businesses be able to launch crowdfunding campaigns for the first time. They were not able to deplete the matching funds in the first campaign. And what they did is they launched a follow-up campaign to raise more funds and to kind of deplete the matching funds that they had remaining. So we do understand that you may not be able to deplete all of them in the first campaign, but you can always set up a follow-up campaign. Another thing is the 50,000 matching funds are linked per business, not per campaign. So a business cannot set up several campaigns to receive 50,000 matching funds for each. You can only have 50,000 matching funds per business. Yes. However, like we said, even if you do not qualify, we have seen so many businesses take advantage of crowdfunding and learn so much from it. Maybe using an example, there's one individual who joined us in the first cohort, and he was affected by the KZN. And I asked him, what are some of the things you've learned from crowdfunding? He said, I didn't realize how impactful social media could be to my business. If you realize some of the things we do encourage for you to add is your social media links, your websites, your maybe Facebook or Instagram page if you have any, and he didn't realize that he can actually gain more customers because he had a meat business where he was selling meat. And I think because he did set up a couple of social media posts, he did see some interaction from there. So we've said that you do tend to learn quite a number of things when it comes to crowdfunding. And we hope that you're able to join our other training sessions just to allow you to learn more about crowdfunding, how to approach it, and some of the advantages you can take from it. Okay, so again, any other questions from anyone else? Okay, great. So registration is ending tomorrow. I will share the link in case you do know other businesses that will benefit from this. However, this will not be the only cohort. They can always register for the next cohort, and we will communicate to you in terms of whether you have been approved for Standard Bank for those who did indicate they have Standard Bank accounts. And for those who did not, we will be having training sessions with you just to guide you more on crowdfunding. I want to thank all of you guys for attending, for being interactive and asking all the questions that you have. We will share all the material we have on crowdfunding, and we will be interacting soon. So please do enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you again for joining.
Just before you go,
yes,
I just wanted to check. I know this question was asked. I must just hear again.
yes.
So when one completes your profile or whatever on Thundercrowd,
yeah,
Thundafund,
yes.
The project also goes onto that particular website.
Yes, so the project does go live on our website, and then we will proceed to share a link with you. And this is the link that you will be sharing with the networks to allow them to start funding your campaign.
All right, so there will be some traction from your side as well.
Yeah, we will be posting it on our social media, but as we said before, from our experiences, only so much traction that comes from our end, but we are trying to make more noise on our social media platform to allow people to know that there are campaigns we're setting up with the support of Standard Bank as well, just to allow them to go through some of the campaigns and see what they're able to contribute or support towards your campaign. But like we said, we do encourage that one of the things you do that would be best is interacting and establishing the networks that you already have and how to navigate them. And those are some of the training sessions we'll be going through just to allow you to know how to tap into the existing networks and take full advantage of those ones at this point in time.
So just a final one from me.
Yes.
I see somebody else's hand is also up.
It's
but
okay.
So you have a template that we can follow?
Yes.
In terms of setting up the campaign?
Yes, we do have a crowdfunding guide that we will share, but since it is a cohort, we will be creating a WhatsApp group just to allow you to continue asking questions there as you continue to create your campaign. And someone from our admin team will be guiding you and helping you. And you can even schedule phone calls with them or with me just to guide you more on how to set it up. So we do have a crowdfunding campaign guide. We do have a guide on how to set up rewards, and this will help you when it comes to creating your campaign. One of the sessions we will also be having later on is taking you through how to register on the platform, how to create the campaign, how the sections have been laid out to give you better understanding.
Okay. Yeah. And setting up the campaign is like in less than, or is it self-dependent? It can be a day, it can be 3 days.
What? Yeah, it depends. We say it's up to the effort that you put in and how you're able to kind of create all the content that is required. However, we will be providing timelines on when the campaign should be ready and when they will be going live. Like we said, we always like having the campaigns go live just before the month ends. You're able to capture people just before they're paid. That's when people are more pocket friendly. So we will be, let's say you have about 3 weeks or so to have your campaign ready.
Okay, I think the others will ask the other questions that I'm
Okay,
thinking.
no problem. I can see someone by the name of Palesa. I hope you have pronounced your name well.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I just came in very late. I just wanted to know if there will be a recording available
Yes.
of the meeting that happens today. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you, because I want to hear everything from scratch. I was so late, technical
okay.
problems.
Yeah, we will be recording. However, in case anybody still wants a follow-up phone call, we can always schedule one in the course of the week. However, we do assure you that all the training sessions we have after will be very helpful to answer majority of the questions that you may have. But yes, we do have a recording of the session. We will share that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. Yes, Sarah?
Thank you. I just wanted to ask you, you intimated that there was some registration closing tomorrow.
Yes.
What is that for?
So we are running cohorts, and the idea of cohorts is allowing groups of people to go through this journey together. So you have registered for the first cohort.
Groups of people to go to?
No, it's just training sessions. Yeah. So we will be doing follow-up training sessions after today. Today was like an introduction to what exactly this is, you know, what Thundafund is doing with Standard Bank. However, the registration that you filled in will end tomorrow, and then the beginning of the second cohort registration will start on the 2nd of March, which is on Thursday. So it doesn't limit people. They can feel free to register whenever they want. They can join whatever cohort, but if they want to join training sessions with this group or at this point in time, they can feel free to register the form by tomorrow. I hope
Would you say is a training session absolutely necessary if one is clear in one's mind what one wants? Yeah.
It is not necessary. So training sessions are available for those who may need more guidance and information, but for those who have found the clarity within this session or were already aware of crowdfunding, they don't have to wait on the rest of the team. They can proceed to continue creating their campaign. And if they feel like they may not be available for the other training sessions, that's perfectly fine, but they will be available for those who will find value in it or may need further guidance. So it's still perfectly fine for you if you feel like that would be best for you.
Thank you. And then the last thing I'll say is just, it's been noted, has it, my query about whether my existing Standard Bank account would make me eligible. Thank you.
Yeah, so had you selected that you had an existing Standard Bank account?
Where must I select that?
I think you had filled in the Google form. What I'll do is I have noted down your email address. I can see it in the chat. What I'll do is I'll follow up on it and just see whether you had registered on the Google form. And we'll also follow up with Standard Bank as well, just to confirm whether your Standard Bank account will be eligible. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question from anyone?
Yeah, session. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad you found value in it. Any question from anyone else?
Hello.
Okay. Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for such an interactive session. I really liked all the questions that you had. So I look forward to interacting with you more. I will send a follow-up email, so look out for that with a link to the recording, all the material, as well as guidance as what the next steps will be. So again, thank you so much, and please do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to My Way Life.